Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over my top 25 favorite sports cards in my collection. I figured to end this channel, I don't really showcase my own personal collection cards off too much. So I went through my whole collection, found 25 cards that I consider my favorite cards. Not necessarily the most rare, the most valuable, just cards that are my favorite. I also have a couple honorable mention cards that I'll showcase at the end, so stay tuned for that. Nevertheless, we got a lot of cards sitting in front of me, so I want to start getting through them. First, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We showcase all sorts of sports cards on this channel, so I'd love for you to join me. Let's kick it off with number 25. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be the most valuable or rarest card out there, but this card is a 2007 Topps Triple Threads Bob Feller Sapphire. These are numbered out of 25. The reason I think this card is so cool to me is because this was like the first big purchase of mine that I bought on ComC when I was first starting to build up my PC. And I always thought the Sapphire, like the blue color background, was really cool. And this set was also really cool to me. 2007 Triple Threads is an awesome set in my opinion. Of course, it's of my man Bob Feller. We're going to see obviously a lot of Bob Feller cards because that's my personal collection. That's who I seek after. So yeah, the Sapphire one, definitely really cool. Love this card a lot. Coming in at 24, this card is so silly to me. It's because of how beat up it is. 1997 Topps Chrome Refractor Kenny Lofton. This card is really beat up. It is scratched up beyond repair. It would probably get a PSA 1 to be if I graded it. The reason I like it so much is, well, one, it's Kenny Lofton. I'm a big Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Guardians fan. Kenny Lofton obviously played a big part in those World Series runs in 95, 97. So he's a desirable player and likable player in my mind. It's also 97 Chrome, which is one of the first few years that Topps Chrome came out. It's also a refractor, and the refractors back then meant a lot more than they do today. And the shine on it is just incredible. It's just a very appealing card. It just looks awesome to me. And it's got Kenny Lofton on it. So it's really cool. I got this one in someone's collection, and it was just beat up. But I still think it's really cool, and it's a very desirable card in my opinion. Probably just a $1 card, but still my 24th favorite card in my collection. And coming in at 23 is another similar card. This is a 2004 E-Topps Cleveland Indians team card. This is a limited edition numbered out of 2,219. This is an uncirculated edition, so it's still in the original one-touch magnetic case here. The reason I like this one so much is because as a kid growing up, I first started following baseball around 2004, 2005. And so looking at the pictures and looking at the names in the back here, they're players that I first started following and first started to know. So you got like Omar Vizquel, CC Sabathia, Coco Crisp, Casey Blake, Milton Bradley. Like the names kind of go on and they just kind of bring back some really good memories. So it's really cool. I really also like the E-Topps design, and you can't beat the shine on this card. It's just impeccable. So that comes in at spot 23. Love this card. 22 is actually two cards. They're both from 2018 Bowman Chrome National Sports Card Convention. I'm almost done with this rainbow. It's of Bob Feller, and it's the gold and the orange parallel. The gold is numbered out of 50, and the orange is numbered out of 25. So some low numbered stuff there. They're just really cool cards. It's really cool to see Bob Feller featured on a Bowman Chrome set, especially an ultra modern Bowman Chrome set. And then to get it in parallels like orange and gold out of 25 and out of 50 is also really cool. There's just something about it that's really appealing, and I also really enjoy it. It's also one of the first few rainbows that I've almost completely put together when I first started building my PC of Bob Feller. I'm like the 1 of 1 short, and I think I'm the out of 5 short. I don't even know if there is an out of 5, but either way, it's still a rainbow that I've almost completed at this point. Spot 21 is a very simple rookie card. It's just 2014 Topps Chrome Jose Ramirez base rookie card, just the base rookie card. Jose Ramirez has come to be one of my more favorite modern players, especially because he plays for Cleveland and all that. The reason it's cool is because I bought someone's collection. I tend to buy people's bulk collections and a lot. If you haven't been following this channel at all, I buy a lot of people's sports card collections and kind of see what kind of gold I can find in it. In one of the collections I bought was a complete set of 2014 Topps Chrome. And if you know that set at all, there's some wildly good rookies in that set. One of them was this Jose Ramirez rookie card. So it kind of just reminds me of how I've found some awesome stuff in buying people's collections. And then of course, one of my favorite players, Jose Ramirez. Spot 20 now, I'm thinking about this card should be higher in my list, but I kind of made this list a little quickly. Either way, really cool card in my collection. This is a 2011 short print variation of Bob Feller featured in the actual base set. You could pull these. This is the Diamond Anniversary Parallel. If you saw my video where I made the tier list where I ranked the different Topps base parallels, the Diamond Anniversary Parallel I had ranked in the S tier, meaning that it was a near perfect parallel. And getting it of a short print of Bob Feller, I think is so cool. It is still one of my favorite parallels of all time. I also have the complete rainbow, aside from the Hope Diamond and then the 1 of 1. So here's the base short print, as well as the Cognag. I think it's called a Cognag Diamond Anniversary, and the regular Platinum Diamond Anniversary there. Really cool parallel set, and the Diamond Anniversary kind of seals the deal for me at number 20. Spot 19 is a couple cards here. Again, if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I love Bob Feller baseball cards, and I love the Topps Gold Parallel card. So one of the other things I do with my personal collection is I try and collect these gold team cards of the Cleveland Indians or Cleveland Guardians. So I have the 2001, 2004, and the 2004 and 2005 parallel variations of the gold card. These are serial numbered out of the year that they were made. It's just such an appealing parallel to me. Especially in the early 2000s, like 2001 when it first started, 2004, 2005, it has such like a solid shine to it. And featuring the team card, that's just really cool to me, really appealing. These cards are probably, I think I bought them for like less than $1 each. They're really not worth much, but they're so cool to me and they're so priceless to me. Hoping someday to actually complete the entire Cleveland Indians team card run in gold parallel form, but that'd be an awesome one to complete. This next one here, I actually just posted a video showcasing an awesome mail day from COMC. This card makes the list from one of my favorite cards of all time. This is a quad relic from 2016 Panini Metropolis Monuments. It features Tris Speaker, Earl Averill, Omar Vizquel, and of course Bob Feller. Tris and Earl have the bat relics, and Omar and Bob have the jersey relics there. This is numbered out of 49. It's a really cool die cut. It's like almost like the Mount Rushmore of Cleveland Indians baseball players. I think I would change who the faces are on this particular Mount Rushmore to include a different player, but I can't complain. 4 amazing players with some awesome relics there. Definitely just a really cool card in my collection. And so we're gonna take it back to the gold cards here. This is a 2005 Topps Retired Signatures Bob Feller. This is the gold parallel. This one is numbered out of 500 though. It's not numbered out of 2005. It's numbered out of 500. The Topps released a retired players, retired signatures set, and it featured, a bunch of retired players in it. One of those was Bob Feller, and it's a gold parallel, so of course it's gonna be one of my favorite. The reason I also like this one in particular is because I started collecting baseball cards around 2005, so the 2005 design in the set is very nostalgic and very appealing to me. So to see Bob Feller in a 2005 set with the gold border is so cool to me. So this card, not worth much at all, but just so it encompasses like everything I like about a baseball card is this card right here. So very cool. Coming up next is an authenticated autograph of Bob Feller. It's from 2001 Sunoco Coca-Cola. It features Bob Feller and Lou Boudreau on it, and it's authenticated autograph of Bob Feller. It's just a regular autograph. I have tons of autographs of Bob Feller in my collection. The reason this one made the list is because it was the first Bob Feller autograph I have ever owned, and so it's really cool, really nostalgic to me. I bought it for less than 10 bucks. It was very cheap. It's from 5-star grading. Never even heard of that service. It's a 2001 Sunoco. It's not even like that big of a card, but the fact that it shows his autograph on there and the fact that it was the first autograph card I've purchased of Bob Feller is really sentimental to me, so it's really cool. Similar to this next card here, this is I think it's a 1999 Barry Halper Sotheby Auctions card, and it's autographed by Bob Feller. Again, not the most cool, not like the coolest autograph you can get of Bob. I have tons more autographs that are probably cooler than this, but the reason this card in particular is cool also comes with this certificate of authenticity from Beckett. The reason this card is particularly cool is because my mom bought it for me for Christmas, and the reason that's really cool to me is because my mom went through my entire baseball card collection without me knowing. She was very careful about it. She told me the story. She went through every single card that I owned to check to see what card I didn't own, essentially. But she figured out that this card that she had found online I did not own yet, and through hours and hours of her searching meticulously through my collection, she purchased this card to give to me as a gift. So it's really cool and really sentimental to me. Very thoughtful gift from her, and I just love it. It's also a really cool card as well. So just another awesome autograph in my collection. That of course makes my list. Spot 14 here is not a Cleveland baseball player. This is Willie Mays, 1968 Topps. The reason I like this one so much is I have a really good appreciation for vintage cards. I own a pretty good amount of vintage cards. I own some really good stuff of Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Nolan Ryan, some of the cooler, bigger cards from the vintage, but none of them are really in good condition, except for this Willie Mays. I've always looked at this card and it's just really impressive how good it is in condition. It's not in the best. It's not even a PSA 6 or 5, I would venture to say, but almost all my vintage cards are just absolutely trashed, and I kind of like it that way. That's okay, but this card is in much better condition compared to the rest, and I really appreciate that, and I really like it. It's just really eye appealing to me. Someday I'm thinking about getting it graded, but it's of Willie Mays, one of the best ever to do it, so it's just an awesome card in my personal collection. Coming up next is a card I've had in my collection for a long time. This is a 1993 Topps Derek Jeter gold parallel. This is the gold parallel of his rookie card. How I obtained this is awesome. My mom worked with someone who used to own a card shop. At the time he owned this card shop, he was actually closing down. He was just trying to get rid of his inventory. At the time, I was a very young kid, and he knew that my mom had a young son who was starting to get into sports cards. He compiled a big box of random sports cards of what he thought was mostly junk, and he gave it to me. Of course, I had the time of my life going through a big 5,000 count box of cards. At the time, I didn't know this card was valuable, but this card was in that box, and I'm guessing he forgot about it, or he might have misplaced it. Either way, years later, when I kind of understood card values and what cards could be valuable, I discovered this card, and it's just been a really cool one. Cool story associated with it. It's also a really cool player. Derek Jeter rookie card gold parallel. Next is the last graded card in my collection. I don't really grade cards, but this is a card I graded myself, bought it myself, graded it myself. This is a 1960 Fleer Bob Feller SGC 7.5. Awesome card in my collection. I filmed a video of me doing the blind reveal of this getting a 7.5. Maybe I'll include it in this video. I see a 5.5. 7.5! Oh, baby! Oh, let's go. That's sweet. Let's take it out of the bag. Oh, that's beautiful. It's such a cool moment for me to see that the card got a 7.5. I was not expecting that kind of grade at all. It's also just a beautiful looking card. It's of Bob Feller, my PC player. Awesome stuff here. Love this one a lot. Nice SGC slab of Bob Feller. And next is my only one of one of Bob Feller in my collection. The collection's still growing, so I'm trying to get as many one-of-ones as I can. This is my first and only one-of-one in my collection. It is a 2015 Panini Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame Chronicles black printing plate 1 of 1. The reason this one's also really cool is because it's the black printing plate, and the original base version of this card was mostly in black and white. So essentially, it's kind of like buying the OG 1 of 1, because this basically encompasses all of the color of the card anyways. So it's really cool. It's 1 of 1. It's my first 1 of 1. It's my only 1 of 1. I couldn't not include it in this video. Next, we have a 2014 Topps Tribute to the Throne Relics. This is the blue parallel, numbered out of 50. This is actually my favorite memorabilia relic sets out there, and of Bob Feller, that is. It's just this is such a beautiful looking card. I just love looking at it. Great shine to it. It's got a great parallel set to it. I'm trying my best to complete it. I did just recently purchase a sepia version of it, so now I have 2 cards of that set. Looking forward to hopefully completing that someday. But this one, numbered out of 50, blue, absolutely love it. We're coming down to our last 9 here, and spot number 9 is this 2002 Topps Tribute Milestone Materials Bat Relic of Bob Feller. This one's really cool. I love the early 2000s relics, mostly because like the early 2000s relics, or like actual relics, on the back they guarantee that relic was used, worn by the player in a game. They guarantee that, which is really awesome, and this is no exception here. What's really cool about this relic in particular is that it's a bat of Bob Feller. He wasn't a hitter, he was a pitcher. His whole career and his Hall of Fame status was based around him pitching, not batting. So the fact that I have part of his bat that he used, that's awesome. I think that's super, super cool. Just a unique piece in my collection. I think pitching relics of bats are just really cool in general. So I have one of my man Bob Feller on a really good looking card, that is. Topps Tribute, great shine to it. Awesome photo, awesome design. Really big fan of this card. Coming in at spot 8 is actually a football card. I know, it's the only non-baseball card in this collection. This is a 2001 Fleer Tradition Pat Tillman. Now, the reason I purchased Pat Tillman, because he is my favorite football player of all time. I myself served in the military for a long time. I have a great appreciation for those who are in professional sports who went out and served in the military as well. Thus, my appreciation for Bob Feller, and to no exception, also Pat Tillman. I read the book about him, watched documentaries about him. I've just been a huge fan of him. So a long time ago, many years ago, I tried finding like an original, cool, playing days Pat Tillman card for myself, but a lot of people also try to do that for themselves. So this card in particular was a little bit, not really expensive, but for my time and my kind of taste of buying cards, it was a little overpriced for me. But I said, what the heck? So I bought the card. I think I bought it for about $20-$30. Might have overpaid for it, but who cares? But what also was really cool about it was that an individual reached out to me, sent me a message on eBay saying their story, that they were also a service member, that they were just trying to sell some cards to get some money for themselves, and that they were hoping that the card would go to a good owner and that they would be taken care of. And I assured them, I told them my own story about my own military service and how I really wanted this card for myself. And that person, the original owner, seemed very appreciative of that. So there's a nice connection between purchasing the card, but also having the card as well. A really nice Pat Tillman football card for my collection from his playing days. Up next, we're going back to baseball. We're getting really old here. We're getting pre-war stuff. This is a 1940 play ball Tris Speaker. This one is so cool. It came from an old binder, and I actually made a whole detailed video about this on my channel a while ago. And you want to talk about just an incredible find of a collection, definitely check out that video because there's some really cool stuff in it. One of the cards in there was this Tris Speaker card. Now, one of my obsessions with collecting is not just Bob Feller, it's also vintage Cleveland Indians and Cleveland Guardians history. I love learning about the history of the Cleveland baseball franchise. Obviously, a very important part of the Cleveland baseball franchise is Tris Speaker, being one of the best hitters that Cleveland has ever had, and one of the best hitters that baseball has ever had. Getting a card from him in the OG days is just so cool to me. And the card, compared to the other cards I found in that collection, is in much better shape than them. It's just an awesome card. I've always enjoyed looking at this card and having it in my collection. Another card that has to be in the top 10. This is my only Topps Now card I've ever purchased. And it's not really that valuable, but it's only valuable to me because of the moment I shared with it. This is a 2017 Topps Now. This is when the Cleveland Indians had their 22-game win streak. What's really cool to me was that I was fortunate enough to watch every single game live with my mom, and every game was just so exciting. I could not look away, and following the whole 22-game win streak was probably next to the 2016 World Series run that the Cleveland Indians had. This moment is easily one of the best moments I've ever had watching baseball. After the streak ended and I saw that Topps had tweeted out they put a Topps Now card commemorating it, immediately I went on the site and bought it for myself just to kind of remember how awesome of a moment and time span that was from, it says here, August 24th to September 14th. That whole almost month-long span was just one of the most exciting periods of me to watch baseball. So just looking at the photo of them celebrating the walk-off, their 22nd win, coolest moment. In top 5 now, cool enough, this is a card numbered out of 5. This is a 2016 Tribute red parallel numbered out of 5. This one's cool to me because this was like the first really low numbered Bob Feller card I purchased for myself. I just remember feeling all giddy and excited to get this card. It's a color match parallel of the Cleveland Indians red. It's just a good looking card, and whenever I see it, I just get that feeling in me like, that's a cool card. I love that card. Compared to the rest, this might not be the most valuable or the coolest, but whenever I look at it, I just get that feeling, and I had to put it in my top 5 just because it's just so cool to me. Same with this next one. This is a cool one. This is from 2004 Leaf Certified Cuts. This is a marble blue parallel, blue ink autograph, numbered out of 50. Probably the most, the best eye-appealing card of Bob Feller in my collection. Just insane. Just so cool. I love the deep blue in it. I might have overpaid for this card, but as soon as I saw it, I just had to get it. Love the hologram, love the refractor, love the blue. It's numbered out of 50. insane card. We're going into our top 3, and spoiler alert, only one of the top 3 is actually a Bob Feller. It's crazy. It's crazy that it happened that way, but you'll probably see why. Coming in at number 3, this card is my most expensive card in my collection, so I had to have it in my top 5 at least. 1941 play ball, Joe DiMaggio, autographed by Joe DiMaggio. It speaks for itself. It really does. It's just such a cool card. As far as the autograph goes, I'm not 100% certain that it is actually autographed by him, but considering the context with which I found the card, again, you can go and check out that video, the binder find, the binder collection find, where I found all those pre-war vintage cards. The context with which I found this in, it makes me more than 50% certain that it is a real autograph of Joe DiMaggio. Either way, it's a 1941 play ball of Joe DiMaggio. Super cool. Just a super cool card. And then the number 2 card, I think this is the only card in the top 25 that I actually pack pulled myself. So I think this is why this card is so high up on the list. 2018 Topps, Mike Trout. SSP, the super short print here. Mike Trout. I've only seen 2 other cards listed on eBay of this card. And I pulled it, pack pulled it myself, pulled it on the channel actually. Maybe I'll show the clip of me pulling it. Cy Young Award, Max Scherzer. Hey, a nice Mike Trout. Is that a short print? I think that's a short print. You pulled a Mike Trout short print. How about that? When I pulled it, I knew it was a short print of Trout. Just didn't know it was like the rare short print of Trout. It's just a very cool card. The fact that I was able to pull something so rare from a pack for myself, it never happens. I never pull something that's really rare. So that was like my first big pull in my collecting career. And it's of Mike Trout. Big name player, big fan of his. 2018 was a big year of collecting for me, so this card is just awesome to me. All right, we're coming down to number 1. I said the top 3, 2 of them would be not Bob Feller, so you probably know that the number 1 card is Bob Feller. Not the most expensive card though, but this is an easy number 1 for me. 1956 Topps, Bob Feller. And this was when I first started collecting Bob Feller for my personal collection. Before I started using ComC to help detail out my personal collection a little better, I went onto eBay. I just searched Bob Feller card. That's all I searched. This was one of the cards that came up. I did a lot of research, a lot of hoping to try and find a good copy of one. I found this one, paid $20 for it, and I was so excited to get this card in my collection. 56 Topps, I think, is one of the best and most beautiful sets ever designed in any baseball card set ever. It's of my man, Bob Feller. The card is in decent shape, not the best. Most of my vintage cards, like I said, aren't, but it's just special to me. You know, I can have these, maybe this DiMaggio is worth a couple thousand, who knows? Maybe this Trout is worth a couple $100, who knows? I know this Feller card's worth probably, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks, maybe? But to me, it's priceless. And if I had to run out of my house that was on fire with one card in my hand, it'd probably be this one, just because of how sentimental and how awesome it is. Love it so much. Like I said, I do have some honorable mention cards I'm going to show. When I was compiling, I just pulled out a bunch of cards from my collection that I thought would make the top 25. I have 4 cards here that just missed the cut. Still want to show them off just because they're cool cards, so why not? Here's a 2020 Topps update. Randy Arozarena rookie card. It's a rainbow foil card. Why is that cool? Because I was doing a video. This video is on my channel. You can look at it. I remember saying, hey, wouldn't it be cool to pull Randy Arozarena? And I opened up the pack, Randy Arozarena rookie parallel. Cool moment for me. I called it out, and it's also of the GOAT. I'm a big fan of Randy. Next one is also a pack pulled one. This is a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. rookie card, 2019 Topps Chrome. This is a prism refractor. Really cool one. Again, pack pulled it. I was super excited to. And then in the very next video, so I posted the video of me pulling the Vlad. The very next video, I pulled this Fernando Tatis rookie pink chrome parallel. So again, I know Tatis's stock is a little bit lower nowadays, but you know, pulling the Vlad prism rookie and then the very next video pulling the Tatis pink rookie was huge for me, because again, I don't pull rare cards often, so or just like really valuable or cool cards, so pulling those two back to back was awesome. And then lastly is my only 1952 Topps card that I own. It's a George Kell card. It's actually in decent shape aside from being off center. I purchased a collection. It was one of the first few baseball card videos I posted on my channel. I purchased a collection. It's probably one of the best return on investments that I could have purchased, and in it was this 52 Topps George Kell. He is a Hall of Famer, so got a Hall of Fame 52 Topps card here. It's in decent shape. Pretty awesome. So that kind of does it for the video today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy me going through my own personal collection. Like I said, these cards are my personal favorite, not necessarily the most valuable, but each card has its own story and meaning to me, which kind of brings to light the discussion of how people should collect cards. There really isn't a way to collect cards, but what you should do is find something that you're personally passionate about and go for it. There's no judgment in how you want to collect your cards. If you think something is valuable, then you consider it valuable. Other people don't have to determine if it's valuable or not. You shouldn't care about what other people think about what you collect. My favorite card in my collection is a $20 to $30 card. When I own cards that are worth hundreds of dollars each, that are 10 times, 100 times more than what my #1 favorite card is worth. So it doesn't matter what your card's value is worth, what people are normally paying for it. It only matters to you how much you care for that specific card. So sorry to get super philosophical here, but I really enjoyed going through my collection and trying to figure out which cards were my favorite in my top 25. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it as well. If you're new to the channel and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe for more of this content to come. This has been Eagleman, and I'll see you guys next time.